What's going on, guys? Welcome back. My name is Brandon, and in today's episode we're going to be talking about plasma cutters, and at the end of the episode I'm going to be giving it away to one lucky subscriber. Stick around. And here it is, guys. This is from the company name Arc Captain, and for my regular viewers, you'll know that I've already given away a MIG welder made by this company, and it seemed really well built, and it was really heavy. I mean, weight-wise, heavy, so it's kind of like a real decent unit. But we'll open this up, we'll check it out. Whenever I do a giveaway, guys, it seems like for whatever reason that as soon as I do it, the comment section gets flooded with spam, and people are reaching out to you guys, trying to scam them, asking them, you know, for their email address or for money or telling them that they won. So let's get this out of the way right now, right early in this video. First off, on any giveaway that I do, I never reach out to you saying that you got to pay something or that you need to do anything special, okay? This is how it works. Whoever wins, it's going to be announced on the channel. It's going to be announced on all my social media as well. So important that you subscribe to those channels, or you at least get notifications on all my social media. It includes Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. And here, I say who the winner is. That winner has to get a hold of me. That's how that works. Once that winner gets hold of me, they're going to have to prove who they say they are, that they're the actual winner, through a couple small things that you might have to do. And then I ship it to you. That's it. I don't reach out to anyone saying that you're on a short list or that you might be a winner or that you've won or any other thing. If someone's contacting you in the comment section, it's a scam. Don't fall for it. That's not how these giveaways work, so hang on to your money. So with that out of the way, let's continue on to open this up. So we got some regulator piping. So we got a carry handle. We got an adapter, so this is an inverter machine. So it'll do 120, 240. Here's your earth or ground. Here's the business end, which is the cutter. Now when you receive this, guys, this is the unit you're going to receive. So it's going to be gently, lightly used. Now if this unit arrives to you blown up, doesn't work, UPS dropped it, threw it off a truck, drove over it, whatever, you're on your own, okay, guys? I want you to know that I do these giveaways out of the kindness of my heart. I get paid nothing for doing these. I get no advantages, no incentives. I make no additional money. There's no affiliate links, nothing. I'm doing this because I'm trying to help out our welding community by paying it forward. If you guys have negative comments about where it came from or any other thing, you guys can keep that to yourself, and the world will be a happier place, because I'm doing this, as I say, I don't have to do this. I have no rewards by doing it, other than the fact of knowing that hopefully I'm helping out somebody that actually could use this or need this and make their life a little bit better or a little more enjoyable, or maybe put a little more money in their pocket so that they can provide for their family. Alright, so right off the bat, I'm seeing that it's unusually thin. This is a lot smaller than most cut 50s. Oh, I like this. Look at this. It's got the gauge built into the side. Kind of a little different. Yep. Nice compact unit. For you guys that only have 120 volt power in your shop, this will be great for that. But if you have 240, you're going to want to utilize that by plugging this in to this, and then plugging this into your wall. I'm going to pull the accessories out. Like I say, these will be a little gently used, guys. I'm going to, when I'm done, I'm going to box this all back up, throw it back into the box, tape it up, and we're going to be sending this off to one lucky winner. And to win these, you don't have to buy anything. You don't got to buy merch. It's not connected to merch. The winner is going to randomly be chosen out of the comment section of this video. If you buy 3 shirts, you don't get extra chances. It doesn't work like that. This is a real free giveaway. All right, so here's some good information that you guys are going to want to know about. If it's on 120 volts, this machine will go from 20 to 35 amps. If it's on 240 volts, it'll go from 20 to 50 amps. So you get an additional 15 amps of cutting power when it's on 220. So if you're wondering, well, what does that work out to be on cut thickness? Well, I actually have a diagram over on my Facebook page, and I'll put a link on that to our Facebook community. And if you guys aren't a member of that community, it's pretty awesome. It's growing all the time. People share pictures on that. You can share files. People share what they're working on. If you've got equipment for sale, you can sell it on that. It's Brandon Lund Welding Community, and again, I'll have a link down below. It's growing every day. It's a pretty fun page to be on. I enjoy it, and I know a lot of other people do too. Up at the top of the page, there's a section called Files, and it has all kinds of things you can download. And a pressure chart is in that. It'll tell you for what material thickness do you set your pressure and do you set your amperage. That way you can maximize your consumable life. Here's the weight on that machine. It is 6 kilograms or 13 pounds. And the cutting torch is 16 feet long or 5 meters. So this gas hose, what this is for is basically your air inlet. So you just push this in there, and then you'd connect this to your air source, this end. Well, I'm not going to use this, so I'm going to set this aside. What most people do is they'll put a air fitting in this, like a quick disconnect air chuck in this, then just stab your air hose onto it, and you'll have all this stuff for your use if that's how you want to hook it up. And for you people that are skeptical and you wonder, are these giveaways for real? Well, I can tell you they are. And head over to that Facebook page. There's actually winners on that page that are sharing stuff that they've built using equipment that they've won on this channel. I know none of the winners before any of the giveaways. So, you know, someone always says, oh, he's going to give it away to his buddy or something like that. I ship these all over lower 48 states. And if you win it, it's going to be yours free of charge. And who you are or what you do or whether I know you or not has no bearing on it. I'd prefer not to know the person that I give it away to, and so far, everyone that's been picked, I have no idea who they are. I really hate to cut this open, but I don't have a spare one of these, because I know that kind of like that's part of the fun, is opening the stuff up. If you guys don't know what pilot arc is, what it is that when you squeeze this trigger, it initiates the arc. And the advantages to a pilot arc versus non-pilot arc is that with pilot arc, you squeeze the trigger and it just vaporizes any paint or rust prior to making your cut. So you don't have to clean it to bare metal to initiate the cut. With a non-pilot arc, you actually have to have a contact made from the tip to your piece that you're cutting. So that's not advantageous if you actually have paint, you have rust, and it's just not clean. This is a standard PT31 torch, guys, and consumables for these are super cheap. I mean, super cheap. You can buy bags of these for next to nothing, and they're all pretty universal. This is your ceramic cup. This is what's called a drag tip. The reason this is called a drag tip is because it has these serrations cut, this cross pattern in the end, and in the very center of this is where the actual business end is. This is what cuts. It has a plasma that shoots out the center making the cut, and these serrations in this drag tip are what allow the molten metal to flow out through, so you can actually set this directly on your piece and make your cut. However, if you hold a very slight gap whatsoever, you're going to extend the life of this considerably. But again, like I said, these are very cheap to replace. Then next is this ceramic diffuser. These right here have little holes in them. Very seldom will you replace that. Same with this. Very seldom will you replace this. Generally, you'll replace this once you drop it on the ground and crack it and break it. And here is the actual electrode that goes down the center. That's what wears out. And that's all there is to this. So let's put it back together. So you have your electrode down the center. Then you put on your diffuser. Then you put on your drag tip or your regular tip. Then you screw on your ceramic cone. And that's it, guys. That's all there is to the consumables. And like I said, they're cheap. You can get, 20 of these for 10 12 bucks, and they last quite a while. I have a really good video that goes into all this stuff in depth, if you're thinking about buying a plasma cutter or you want to know more, I think it's called Plasma Cutting 101. It's just a really good video. It's got a lot of views, and it talks about everything. It talks about these consumables. It talks about requirements, air requirements, compressor size, what I use, and the bare minimum size that would be needed to make these cuts. And it talks about electrical requirements and dedicated circuits and how to plasma cut, what to do, what to look for, how to do it. So go check out that video. It's really interesting. Like I say, it's got a lot of valuable information. I'll have a link up above, and I'll put a link down below in the video description for you guys to check it out. And as I said a couple minutes ago, it comes with the two most needed parts for a plasma cutter, the pieces that actually wear out, and that's it. It comes with a spare drag tip and a spare electrode. And actually what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to take out all of these parts and pieces right here, and I'm going to throw them in a bag so that these will all be brand new for you. So you'll have the set that came with it. You'll also have the spare set that came with it, and I'll leave a set on. You're going to receive it with a set all set up, but that'll be the used set, and I'll take that out of my consumables. So that way you will have all brand new consumables when you get it, plus an additional set that you would have otherwise not had. So now you're going to have spare ceramics too. It's all brand new stuff for you. I've got a little container here that I use keep all my stuff together. So let's see, I'm going to need a ceramic, a drag tip, a diffuser, and an electrode. And again, like I said, all these PT31 torches, they're all the same. So I'll do it the same way. Throw an electrode, throw in a diffuser, drag tip, ceramic. You can see how mine are a little bit shorter, the drag tip, but that doesn't matter. I'm a pack rat, so I was able to make up this fitting that I'm just going to put into the back. So this side will go into that quick connector. If you guys wanted to build one, this is what I did here. So, and then it's got your quick connect fitting here. Then it reduces down to a barbed fitting. It's not pretty, but it'll work, and it'll keep me from cutting into that orange hose that is going to be one of the winners. This is, you know, 30 years of accumulated fittings and air lines, and this goes on to, you know, tow behind air compressor. It's a splitter. There. All right, let's get back to it. We'll take this adapter and we'll just stick it on there. There we go. That's it. And to remove it, you just push it in. It kind of works like a quick connect, but we connect this end to our air compressor. Now with that out of the way on the back, now we just got to screw on the front connection, which is from the torch. Then we attach the control, which is just a quick connect fitting that pushes on. And then we put the earth on. That's that. So that's all you need to set up a plasma cutter. You just need electricity, you need air. That's it. Because I've got 220 in my shop, I'm going to be running this off 220 volt power. So we'll plug into our adapter. Now we'll plug our adapter into the power. Now we just got to supply the unit with some air. Got the earth or ground. We'll clip that right to our table. This is all set up, ready to go. I got some test pieces. I got some old metal bed frame. I've got some 3/16 plate. And I've got some 1/8" aluminum. We'll go around to the back, turn it on. Oh boy, nice display screen. That looks nice. Run through the settings. So it goes all the way up to 50. Oh guys, I really like that feature. Listen. Silent. It's about time these manufacturers do this stuff. It drives me crazy hearing a fan run on a machine that is just idling there, sitting there doing nothing when you're not using it. It's just running a fan that doesn't needlessly need to be running because there's no heat in it. It's just sitting there. So well done for that. Thank you. So the operation mode is 2T, 4T. Basically, guys, 2T, you just pull the trigger, the arc initiates, you let off, it stops. 4T would be, let's say you had it on a machine, pull the trigger, the arc initiates and it stays lit, pull it again, it turns off. So you'll be running it in 2T mode. The preferences, you can go down to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way up to 15. And what that does is that gas or air runs through this tip for a little bit just to cool it down after you're done with the cut. So once you let off this trigger, then it'll continue to blow air out the end to keep this cooled down. So if you're cutting really thin stuff, then you may not want it running for 10 seconds, or if you have a small compressor and you don't want to like utilize every last bit of air you have, and you're cutting something thin, you only may want it to go for 5 seconds. If you're cutting something really thick and you're cutting at maximum amperage of 50, you probably want to turn that up to like 15 to allow that to cool everything down, because it's going to be a lot hotter. So we'll put it on for 10. That's about a reasonable setting right there, kind of between everything. Now, if you're cutting inside, you're going to want some safety gear. So you're going to want some cutting goggles, you're going to want a respirator, you're going to want to cover your arms, nice cotton, flannel, fireproof, and you're going to want some gloves. These are just regular cutting torch gloves. And preferably you're not wearing sneakers that have mesh in the toe. These right here, guys, I got to give this company a shout out. It's called Brunt Workwear. They actually sent me this pair of boots, and I didn't say anything about it because I don't like to just promote something if I don't know about it. But I've been wearing these for the last 2 months. They are incredible. I actually love them. Super comfortable. And I like that they're slip-on. No laces. I don't have to worry about when I'm running a torch or welding that I'm going to get stuff down in between the laces or the laces to burn out. They're super comfortable. This boot is called the Boldick, and probably the most comfortable pair of boots I've ever worn. And they have a composite toe. So check it out if you're looking for a good pair of boots and it's time to replace yours. I have no problems showing these boots and saying that they're a decent boot. Again, I get nothing for this. They just sent me these to try them, and I told them if they're junk, they're not going to hear anything about it. So they were good with that. You know, I'm just like you guys. I go to work and make money, and I got to stretch my dollar for as far as I can. And if I can save a couple bucks and use something that's going to last, I'm more than happy to pass it on to someone else that they can enjoy the benefits too. And like I said, these boots are super comfortable. I only had one issue. They were a little too big. I normally wear a 12, and they sent me a 12, and it was just felt a little too big. They sent me a return slip back, cost me nothing, and they sent the boots back to me half size smaller, and they fit better. So yeah, pretty slick, pretty easy company to deal with, and that wasn't anything that they did special for me. That is their policy. If they don't fit, you can send them back and they'll send you a new pair. It doesn't cost you anything. So they're a nice boot. I wouldn't say it if they're not, guys. They're super comfortable. And for us people who get a little bit older and we're lazy, it's just nice to just stuff your foot down in it. You don't have to bend over and tie your laces. Now we got to adjust our air pressure. We're at 90 right now. Way too much air. We don't want that. So what do we adjust it for? How do we know? So if you want all kinds of information, this is what I was telling you about earlier, go to Brandon Lund Welding Community. It's got all sorts of information there. You'll see all kinds of things that people are building, they're interacting and sharing their stuff. But the part that you want is to go here, scroll across, you can go buy and sell, photos, files. Go over to files and then look for the plasma cutter chart. And it has all kinds of other things, aluminum MIG setup. It's got the template for Fab Table right here on setting one of those up if you want to set that up yourself. It's got information on 3M respirators and what cartridges are best for what you're cutting. It's got a quick reference guide for welding, but again, this is what we're looking for, is the plasma cutter chart. Click on it, it'll download it, they're all safe, and here it is right there. So this is where the rubber meets the road. We go over here to 1/8 inch, and we look at this chart, you know, metal thickness, 1/8 inch. This chart is good from a 1/64 of an inch all the way up to 7/8 of an inch. So we're going to go for 1/8 inch metal. We're going to look at the amperage, and it's saying 20 amps at 30 psi. So that's our setting. We're going to set it for 20 amps. If we go over, we know we got some 3/16 in there as well. So we can look at that, 20 amps, 30 psi, same thing. So that gives you an idea of what you can cut on 120 and 240 volts as well, guys. Because remember, this I think only went up to, what, 35 amps on 120 volt. So you can cut 1/4 inch, no problem, because that's 30. 17/64, so 9/32, Between 19/64 and 5/16 is where it switches from 30 amps to 40. So you can cut some pretty thick metal. So 19/64 is a couple sizes bigger than quarter. So you can do a lot of stuff on 120 volts. But back to what we're doing. 20 amps, 30 psi. And as you can see, we're already on 20 amps. We just have to adjust this to 30. So you pull it up and then turn it counterclockwise to lower it. And if you're a little over, guys, it doesn't matter. You probably want it a little over anyways, because when you're pulling the trigger, this is going to go down a little bit, so we want to check that. So we'll pull the trigger and watch the gauge. Okay, so that's way low. Up a little more. That's pretty close. We probably bump it up just a whisker more. And listen to that, guys. No fan, because it's not needing it yet. The circuits haven't heated up enough. So just because you pull the trigger doesn't mean that the fan's going to turn on. So I'm really loving this feature. What an awesome thought process to do that. Sometimes it's the little things that mean a lot. And I know that you guys that have the machines that just sit there and run and run and run while you're fabbing up your stuff and you're taking measurements and you're cutting pieces. How irritating is that, just to listen to that fan, waste the fan and run your electricity up and just sitting there running when it doesn't need to be. I love this feature. My Fronius does the same thing. It just sits there quietly until it's needed. This isn't a tutorial of how to cut and how to use it. We're just trying it out, make sure everything's going to work good, guys. I'll talk to you a little bit along the way about what we're doing and why we're doing it, but if you want to know the intricate details, go watch that other video I was talking to you about. Alright, here we go, guys. Wow, nice. So hear that? It's going to run for 10 seconds after, because that's what we set it for, and then it's going to shut off. And there it is. Now look at that cut, guys. Now what that leaves behind is a little bit of slag or dross, and that just knocks off real easy with a chipping hammer. Require very little filing or any other thing. This isn't a tutorial on how to cut a straight line, just so you know. This is using it. That other video talks about cutting straight lines. So that was some 3/16. Let's cut some 1/8" aluminum. Again, I'm making direct contact with the metal and pulling the trigger. And there's that cut. You saw how fast that was. And do the same thing for that. Scrape off the dross with a hammer. Take a flap wheel to that, and you're good to go. A plasma cutter will cut any metallic metal, in case you guys are wondering. So this is a piece of like 16th-inch bed frame. Let's go ahead and cut this. I could turn down the amperage and the pressure, I think, a little bit, if I remember by that chart. It's not critical, but if you can get the air and the amperage very close to the material thickness that you're cutting, it's just going to extend the life of your consumables considerably. And that's, you know, if you're into saving money, kind of like I am, then that's a good thing. To, you know, you could always just turn this up to max it out 50 amps and pound the air right to it. You're not going to get as good a cut, and you're just going to use up your consumables a lot quicker. And there it is, guys. There's the top. And there's the bottom with a little bit of dross on it. That's it. I was just checking this out on Amazon, and currently it's $259. I'll put a link down in the bottom so you guys can check it out. Looks like they even water test it, dust test it, and drop test it. What caught my attention is max rated clean cut thickness, 1/2 inch. It also has a max severance thickness of 3/4, meaning that it'll cut 3/4 material, but it just won't be pretty. It's saying it'll cut 1/2 inch clean, so be like Project Farm. We're going to test that. I got a sheet of 1/2 inch plate here, and just to show you. 1/2 inch, you see where that lines up? That also equals 12.7 millimeters. So we'll go back to our chart, and we can see right here, 1/2 inch, we need 50 amps and 50 psi. So let's go set it up. So we'll pin it. We'll probably have to turn this up to probably like 60 so that it goes down to 50. That's a little high. Back it off a little. There we go. It did absolutely exactly what it said it was going to do. Clean cut. Just like that. Knock that dross off. There you go. Pretty impressive, guys. I'm super impressed. Absolutely. Did what it said. I don't have any 3/4 inch plate to check if it'll actually do a severance cut of 3/4, but everything I do, I'm not working with anything over 1/2 inch. So 1/2 inch is pretty much the maximum limit of stuff that I'm working on that I'd be cutting with a plasma cutter. Anything probably thicker than that, I'll probably be using a torch anyway. So, and just like that, I've got it all boxed back up and ready to ship to its new home. And that's all there is to it, guys. This is going to make one lucky subscriber a really happy person. I'm really impressed with this machine, and I can't wait to give it away. So if you guys want to know more about plasma cutters, go check out that video that I talked to you about earlier and I put down in the video description. I think it's called Plasma Cutting 101. It's very in-depth. It's really popular. Make sure you read the rules to this giveaway down in the description. One lucky subscriber is going to be chosen from the comment section of this video. It's the only place where I'm going to be picking the comments from. This video. Read the instructions down in the description. I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. If this is something that you like, please don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and share it up. Until next week, guys, I will see you then. Take care, stay safe, God bless. New videos every Friday. Thank you.